Joining us right now to talk about the retail shakeout is Jan Kniffen. He's CEO of J. Rogers Kniffen Worldwide. And Jan, yesterday you sent me a note that laid this out. You said now that Macy's has secured funding, you can basically see the entire chessboard. You know who the winners and the losers are. You want to lay that out for us?
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. We know that Nordstrom's is going to be with us. Macy's is going to be with us. Kohl's is going to be with us. We're pretty sure that Neiman's, Saks, Lord & Taylor's probably gone, but even Neiman's and Saks are struggling. They'll probably shrink. We know that as you come down from that, we've got the Bon-Tons, Boscov's, Belk's, Von Mars, Dillard's, et cetera, that some of them will go away. Some of them will be just less relevant. But there's only one big player in that space now, Macy. They're now well secured through 2022 at least, as far as funding. And so they're going to be with us. And we had some doubts about that for a while, about how that sector was going to work. When you get down below that, Kohl's makes it, but Penny's and Sears either shrink a lot from where they are today or go away completely. So that space is pretty well laid out. The ones you already mentioned, the essential retailers, they never struggled at all. They were already winning before COVID. Now they've got a huge head start on everybody else. They've got plenty of cash flow. They can invest in new technologies because everybody is going to have to get better and better at online, digital, and all the things the customer is going to want to feel safer, as well as contactless transactions. That's who's going to win, people that can do all of that and remain open. And now we see what that's going to look like. When we get to the space inside the mall, we're going to see a lot of attrition there. Sure, the Williams-Sonomas that are 60% online already, they're going to be fine. And Lululemon's going to be fine because they've been selling all during the pandemic and their business has just gotten better. And they're also selling the kind of product that people wear when they stay home. So there's winners even inside the mall. But in general, the mall's been losing ground for a long time. Now it's losing ground faster and going to lose it faster. I expect to see at least 20% of the inside of the mall go, and I expect to see at least a third of the malls go a lot sooner than we originally thought. We had that planned for somewhere in the 2030 range. Now we have it planned for something in the 2021 range.
Hey, Jan, I was thinking about how retail has changed over the last 20, 25 years. You know, it used to be that in retail, it was this battle between the great merchants and the bean counters, right? It was like Moneyball of retail, where if you had a great merchant, somebody like a Mickey Drexler or somebody who had that special eye, they could come in and say, here's what's going to sell, and we're going to put it everywhere, and we're going to win. But then you had the really well-run, well-operated companies that were run by the bean counters, and those were the ones that sometimes outperformed for the market and were at least more steady operators. Now I look at it and I think, I don't know if either of those can survive in this new world. You've got to be an operator, I guess, but maybe more importantly, you have to understand how to run an online shipping and a holistic retailer, how to do all of those things. And I don't know if anybody can survive if you're not willing and able to reach out to the customer on any way that the customer wants to shop.
Absolutely believe you're right. And I think Macy's was actually one of the pioneers of omni-channel retailing. I think maybe Terry Lundgren coined the term. But despite that, they've still struggled because the space is struggling. You have to remember, I was in a dying industry, and for 25 years, we had a 17% annualized return to the shareholder, up sales and up earnings 25 years in a row before 2000, 1975 to 2000. That was in an era where the department stores were failing really fast, and the bean counters, which we were still winning the game. But that inevitably was going to be surpassed by things like off-price selling. You know, now you go across the street, you go to TJX, you go to Ross, you go to Burlington stores, they're across the street from the mall, they're not at the mall. And they didn't really exist at the time that the department store was really winning the game. They were just starting to grow. We didn't have Amazon that could sell anything you could sell pretty much at a price the customer wants to pay and get it to them the next day. That didn't exist either until 1999 for all practical purposes. So all of that damage has been done in the whole space. If you call it damage, I'll call it creative destruction. But that all occurred from 1999 to now. Walmart started its game in 1962, destroying retail. So it's been a big change to the retail world.